Last time on Cyberphile, we covered most of the Dome of the Forgotten, learning about the old pantheon along the way. We also learned about some of the darker stories of Devara's Light, and gave the untouched Inquisitor quite the touching. Hello and welcome back to another episode of From the Depths, this lore-enhanced walkthrough of Salt and Sanctuary from Cyberphile. So with one half of the Dome of the Forgotten taken care of, we've still got one more half to take down. So that's what we're gonna do. Actually, it's more than one half, really, that we've accomplished. We really only need to do, like, just the boss, and that's pretty much it. Nice. That Whisper Man walked right into that. Get out of here. Alrighty, so up here is where we will get to the next boss, but yeah, there we go. Wanted to drop down and grab that. Now, can we make this jump? There we go. Sometimes I have trouble making it back up there. So now we'll take the elevator up and face the second boss of the Dome of the Forgotten. And I already told you what boss that's going to be on the last episode. But it's right up here. Let's drink another golden wine for the buff and get ready to rock. There it is, Quinoa, the third lamb. I already told you all about the third lamb on the last episode, but if you missed it, he used to be a powerful hippogriff, and he's still a powerful hippogriff, but he used to be able to fly and would watch over the Dome of the Forgotten. And watch over followers of Devara that would make pilgrimages to him, to the Dome of the Forgotten. This guy can be a real troublemaker. Not sure why, but every now and again I have a lot of trouble with this guy. I think it's because I think he resists a lot of slash damage, which is what I usually end up using. But we're making pretty short work of him right now. Knock on wood, of course. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, that was not troubling at all. I remember having trouble with him sometimes when I'm using a sword, or I remember my dagger run. He was one hell of a fight. But I mean, daggers are kinda meh, so. This air, it's so still. I was drawn to this dome for reasons I don't understand. It's so lonely here. I long for a friend, but I think I've driven everyone I've loved away. Tell me, have you heard of Hardlight? Me? Yes. The viewers? Maybe not. Well then, let me tell you. Hardlight has been described as not unlike crystallized moonbeams. It can only be seen and touched by those that possess a Hardlight brand. But even those unable to touch Hardlight will see its traces. You'd like that brand, wouldn't you? Yes, as I thought. Well, it's simple as that. Accept this brand. So Hardlight is like the opposite of Redshift. So instead of making walls and platforms disappear with Redshift, we make them appear with Hardlight. You come here to think too, don't you? I enjoy solitude, of course, but you're always welcome to join me. I like to think about how meaningful my actions are. Making real change. That's what I bring to this world. Not really sure what that guy's deal is, lore-wise, so there's not really any detail that we can go off of. But as you can see, the torch allows us to walk on those fluffs of clouds. We've seen various fluffs of clouds around. So now with another brand got, we now have more areas that we can access, and the next place we're going to head to is the Ziggurat of Dust. But before we do, there's a couple of little things that I want to hit over here. The first area, we kind of saw it on our way up to the third land. So we're just going to hit that again. There it is. You can see the little clouds there. Oops. Missed the jump. There we go. So we'll just hop up here and across. And there we go. The Charged Ring. Which, if I'm not mistaken, is another magic user's rings that we won't really end up using. And then with that item grabbed, we can also head just over to the right of the dome. If you remember, before we fought the Untouched Inquisitor, there was some clouds over to the right here. Alright, so like I was saying, right over here, you can see there's a little area that we can access. So let's do that. And head over here. So over here we have another Dread Horseman. I want to get his attention because there are other enemies over here that are kind of annoying. Come on. There we go. We dismounted him. Gonna take another quaff of golden wine. These guys are definitely some of the most dangerous enemies in the game, I think. That move is brutal. It's like an instant guard break, and there's little you can do about it if you can't get out of the way in time. They're one of the enemies that come to chase you if you try and desecrate a sanctuary, which we may end up doing later in the playthrough, near the end, just so that we can cover everything. So way over here gives us a back entrance. Ooh, this is gonna be tough to deal with because we can't one-hand the spear, so if it's only 2 hits, then we'll just deal with the darkness as we clear these cave creatures. Up here, we can get the Bloodbrow gear. So we talked about Bloodbrows a couple episodes ago, and we'll talk about them more later, but there you go. So this leads into the ruined temple, and we're not going to spend a whole lot of time here yet. I'm just making my way. A couple split swordsmen to deal with, and now we can meet with a Thing of Arms, and these things are pretty deadly and pretty tough. And pretty disturbing. They just throw their arms at you. See, there you go. That's not okay. I wish I had disposable arms. Then when anyone would ask me if I could lend them a hand, I totally would. Here you go. Excuse me, kind sir. Could you lend me a hand? Nope, guess not. Let's just murder him. That works too. Alrighty. So like I said, that just takes us... That actually takes us above the ruined temple. Much of the ruined temple is actually below that point. But we're just kind of covering everything as we go. So So, and this pops us back outside the Dome of the Forgotten. It's one big loop, pretty much. So now we are going to head back to the far beach, where we were before I decided to come back here and deal with the Dome of the Forgotten. So, and as it turns out, we have our last item that we need to max out our Creed devotion. I'm just going to take another golden wine, because golden wine is the best. And now our devotion is maxed out for the House of Splendor, which means we can now purchase some of the coolest heavy armor in the game from the blacksmith. There it is, the Resplendent Armet. Or the Resplendent set, rather. Pretty expensive, but totally cool. And I don't know how much of it we're going to be able to equip without setting our equip rate way over at this point, but I do want to eventually have that set completely equipped. So, in due time. And since the Headsmans Volge is what we're going to stick with, I think, for the rest of this playthrough, it's due time to upgrade it. So let's do that as well. Okay, we're now at Headsmans Volge +3. Now we'll head back to the far beach. Double back up and around to head towards the Ziggurat of Dust. Now I'm not going to start the lore at the Ziggurat of Dust because we're coming up near the end of our lore times. But these enemies down here, this is actually kind of a trap. There are these drowned porcelain is what they're called. They're just little, they're actually what they were they were children of nobility. And in the world of Salt and Sanctuary, if you are a child of nobility, you have to wear a porcelain mask whenever you're around your elders. It's some sort of way to show that, hey, I'm a child and you're my elder and I respect you. These guys, those guys are some of the creepiest enemies in the game. Aurochs, I believe they're called. Really neat enemy. We're just gonna grab a couple items that are right outside the sanctuary here. And then we are going to tackle the upper portion of the Ziggurat of Dust on the next episode of From the Depths, this Salt and Sanctuary lore-enhanced walkthrough with Cyberphile. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more Cyberphile content. And if you liked this video, show me with that little thumbs up button. If you liked this video, you might like one of my other videos. You can click right on the boxes to jump to them. Cyberphile, offline.